Not everyone sees it clearly. Beyond the roaring engines and hair-raising turns lies a quieter competition. One that's far more relentless. The chase for fortune. Formula One isn't solely about shaving milliseconds off lap times. It's also a playground where brilliant minds and deep-pocketed players turn each circuit into a financial chessboard. Every win into a lucrative branding empire. One driver parted ways with Ferrari, but their bank account kept accelerating, fueled by clever investments in real estate and a savvy personal branding game plan. Another, once dismissed and written off, now sits atop the Alpine payroll earning handsomely while flying under the radar as one of racing's quiet millionaires. The top 10 richest Formula One drivers of 2025 don't just top the money charts to show us who's truly mastered this high-stakes world, both behind the wheel and beyond it, and the personal journeys behind those dollar signs. That's the real story worth hearing. George Russell represents a refined kind of success marked not by flashy parties or bold headlines, but by a quiet influence that still manages to draw the eyes of the world. In the noisy, high-speed world of Formula One, where drama is the norm, Russell has taken a more graceful road, steady, focused, and quietly building his fortune. The British driver, born in 1998, entered the Mercedes development program as a teenager and long held the trust of Toto Wolff, who viewed him as a standout talent. His 2020 performance filling in for Lewis Hamilton at the Sakir Grand Prix left a lasting mark not just for his pace but for the calm he maintained under intense pressure. That moment became the doorway to a defining chapter, rising to Mercedes's lead driver role in 2025 following Hamilton's high-profile move to Ferrari. This period has become a sweet spot in Russell's journey, especially as veteran competitors like Daniel Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, Kevin Magnussen, and Valtteri Bottas have each stepped away. Within this evolving landscape, Russell not only benefits from an increased salary at Mercedes, but also attracts premium sponsorships with elite lifestyle brands. His profile is changing rapidly, not through noise, but through the rising digits in his financial portfolio. What's most striking is that Russell never needed to compromise who he is to get here. He doesn't flood social media, rarely shows up at Hollywood parties, and has managed to steer clear of any controversies. Instead, he's chosen Monaco as home, a haven for seasoned racers and smart financial minds. In that exclusive world, Russell is far more than a driver. He's a man who quietly builds both racing achievements and long-term wealth. Today, with 16 million to his name, confirmed by several respected sports finance outlets, Russell holds the number 10 spot among the richest Formula One drivers in 2025. But this is only the early stretch of a much longer road, one that sees him gradually following in the footsteps of icons like Hamilton, not through spectacle, but with substance. Still, if you find 16 million impressive, you'll want to stay tuned, because next up is someone with nearly 5 million more, a stormy past, and a survival story that cuts through the very heart of F1's fiercest battles. If there's one man in Formula One who knows what it means to hang tough through adversity, it's Esteban Ocon. He didn't grow up surrounded by privilege. No iconic surname in motorsport. No early invites from powerhouse teams like Ferrari or Mercedes. Yet through nearly 10 years of fierce competition, Ocon has stayed on the grid, and with each season, his finances have quietly but steadily climbed. Born in Évreux, France, Ocon came from a working-class background. His early racing days were spent on the road, traveling in a camper van with his parents to attend karting events across the country. Every penny his family had went into fueling his racing dream, and he delivered. After joining Renault's Young Driver Academy, he made his F1 debut in 2016 with Manor, then considered the smallest outfit on the track. While others from such teams vanished quickly, Ocon worked his way up, racing for Force India, Renault, Alpine, and now Haas. His shining hour came at the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix. As top contenders faltered due to errors and misfortune, Ocon stayed cool and claimed his first and so far only Formula One win. But that victory was more than a trophy moment. It unlocked doors to long-term deals, pulling in millions in sponsorships from French companies, from upscale car makers to fashion houses and bottled water brands. Now in 2025, Ocon turns heads again by joining Haas, a team often brushed aside. But what sets Ocon apart is his mindset. He doesn't chase comfort. He seeks the stage where he can prove himself. His latest agreement with Haas is reportedly more lucrative than his previous salary at Alpine, placing him firmly among the sport's top earners to bring in 21 million without a world title, without the spotlight, but with sheer determination. That's rare. Ocon isn't the golden boy of F1, but he's the man who stays the course, turning each hard-earned year into real financial success. But if you're thinking this fighter tops the list, think again. Up next is a fresh face from the new era, a driver who's turned racing skill and online presence into an unstoppable wealth engine. In a sport once ruled by stoic veterans and formal personas, Lando Norris arrived like a catchy new tune, young, sharp, charming, and wildly lucrative. He's more than just quick on the track. He's a digital entrepreneur, a streaming sensation, and a master at turning attention into income. The year 2024 marked a breakthrough in Norris's racing journey. After years of grinding performances, he played a vital role in delivering McLaren the Constructors' title, a career-defining moment that brought not just pride, but a record-setting bonus with a soaring paycheck and personal deals from style, gaming, and tech firms. Norris officially transitioned from rising star to a mainstay in F1's millionaire club. But what makes Norris truly exceptional goes beyond the paddock. It's how he builds his digital empire. He's the visionary behind Quadrant, a media company rooted in gaming, lifestyle, and online content. Quadrant isn't simply a place where Lando plays games. It's a thriving enterprise backed by sponsors, staff, and a devoted online following. In parallel, he runs LN Racing Kart, investing in young racers while expanding his financial portfolio. Lando's image fits perfectly in today's landscape, open, easygoing, yet playfully clever qualities that made him a favorite among Gen Z. He engages on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, not as a polished figure, but as someone real, welcoming viewers into his world, whether he's taking on Call of Duty or viral web stunts. Each session adds thousands to his income through viewer tips and ad revenue. So it's no shock that Forbes reported Lando pulled in over 15 million in 2024 without even counting his race day pay. And when you total up his entire earnings, his fortune now stands at 30 million, a staggering accomplishment for someone just 25 years old. Yet, stepping out from McLaren's fun and flashy backdrop is a very different kind of figure, one who shuns loud fame, avoids social media buzz, and quietly builds wealth like a rare stealth mode startup. Pierre Gasly, the silent millionaire. In the fast-paced world of racing, some drivers chase headlines while others quietly carve out a legacy like a cool breeze cutting through a demanding season. Pierre Gasly fits into that second category. No drama, no noise, no grand displays. But take a look at his wealth reports and you'll see why French financiers refer to him as the silent millionaire. Gasly's journey began at Toro Rosso before earning a shot at Red Bull in 2019. After struggling to deliver, he was unexpectedly sent back to Toro Rosso in a setback many believed would derail his path. But Pierre stood firm. He bided his time, and upon joining Alpine France's national F1 team he turned that early stumble into a rewarding new chapter. By 2024, Gasly was earning 12 million per season, making him Alpine's top earner. And with a fresh long-term deal starting in 2025, that number is only heading upward. Yet this salary alone doesn't tell the full story of how Gasly operates in the financial world. Among F1 drivers, he's a favorite of the French press and frequently partners with high-end European companies, from fine Swiss watches and couture fashion to electric mobility brands and men's grooming lines. Without flooding the internet with posts, Gasly has cultivated a reputation for being refined, low-key, and dependable traits that make him an ideal face for luxury marketing. Pierre resides in Switzerland, a haven for those who value both calm living and financial discretion. Unlike many peers who settle in Monaco to reduce taxes, he prefers a quieter base, one that still provides serious wealth-building perks. His real estate holdings span France and Switzerland, and he's worked with financial advisors from early on to create a diverse, forward-thinking investment plan. So it comes as little shock that top sports finance analysts now estimate his net worth at 33 million, putting him ahead of many peers who enjoy greater press attention. That's the fruit of a deliberate, methodical approach, less flashy, but undeniably effective. And if that 33 million still doesn't impress you, hold tight because next comes a Spanish ace, once draped in Ferrari red, now riding high with a bank account to match first-class status. If ever there was a racer who stepped onto the track with pedigree running through his veins, it's Carlos Sainz Jr. As the son of rally great Carlos Sainz Sr. he was never overlooked. Yet he never leaned on legacy either. Instead, he carved out his own lane, rising steadily and building wealth with the patience of a finance expert in racing overalls. Sainz made his F1 debut in 2015, and by 2025, he'll have logged 11 full seasons on the grid, a feat few in his age group can match. He's competed for Toro Rosso, Renault, McLaren, and most famously Ferrari, where he raced between 2021 and 2024. During that run, he proved to be Ferrari's most consistent performer and, according to Forbes, among the sport's top earners. In 2024, when the news broke that he was leaving Ferrari for Williams in 2025, it raised eyebrows. Why exit a legendary team like Ferrari? But Sainz is a strategic thinker. While contract specifics remain private, reports suggest a lucrative, high-influence deal, possibly positioning him to restore Williams like Nico Rosberg once helped transform Mercedes. Carlos's fortune doesn't rest on race earnings alone. He's diversified smartly, owning homes in Madrid, Monaco, and Dubai, curating a luxury car stable with models like the Ferrari SF90, McLaren 720s, and Porsche 911 GT3, and backing sports tech startups in Spain. He's also the face of several elite European watchmakers and fashion houses. With an estimated net worth of 50 million, Sainz is the blueprint for a driver who steers his own destiny. He understands timing, when to accelerate, when to pivot, and when to lock in long-term security. Still, despite his polished and princely aura, Carlos is no match for the next name on the list, a driver born into a billionaire's world, where wealth isn't chased, it's inherited like garage keys. Lance Stroll, born into the billionaire pit stop. In a sport where most drivers claw their way up the ranks with grit and luck, Lance Stroll began his F1 career with garage doors wide open. His father, Lawrence Stroll, is a Canadian billionaire, owner of the Aston Martin team, and a powerful investor in the Ralph Lauren fashion empire. From childhood, Lance had access to perks most could only dream of: a private racetrack, a personal race team, and eventually a guaranteed spot on an F1 roster. But that's just the surface. What many miss is that Lance isn't simply living off inherited wealth. He's making serious money in his own right. He currently earns a reliable salary in Formula One, estimated at 10 million yearly, not including bonus payouts, endorsements, or internal benefits linked to the Aston Martin brand. Thanks to insider ties, Lance holds stakes in ventures involving Aston Martin, Lagonda, and elite fashion labels his father helped finance. Outside of racing, he's often seen at upscale auto showcases, global fashion galas, and takes part in numerous behind-the-scenes marketing campaigns. Among Canada's financial elite, he's considered a fresh face of wealth, blending the glamour of motorsport with sharp business instincts. He has invested in electric vehicle tech and represents luxury lifestyle brands throughout Monaco. Though his F1 stats don't feature multiple championships, his tenure has been solid. Since first suiting up with Williams in 2017, Stroll has never lost his seat, an uncommon streak for non-title holders. It's partly family resources, yes, but also his real driving skill in a team built to protect his long-term image and place. Today, with a personal fortune pegged at 50 million, Lance Stroll holds the title of Canada's richest F1 driver, proving that growing up in wealth doesn't mean you can't build an empire of your own. And if Lance's life of privilege piqued your interest, get ready to meet our next star, a Monaco native raised where luxury is normal and where Ferrari has long been more than just a name. If today's Formula One had to be defined by a single figure, Charles Leclerc would be its blueprint. Hailing from Monaco, the world's playground for the ultra-wealthy, he blends natural racing talent with the refinement of a polished aristocrat, graceful, focused, and strikingly affluent. His journey into F1 wasn't paved with gold. After losing his devoted father early in life, Charles had to turn personal tragedy into fuel. He began at Sauber, but his potential quickly drew Ferrari's attention. And by 2019, he was racing in red. Since that day, he hasn't just held his seat, he's been Ferrari's heartbeat and one of the sport's top earners. In 2024 alone, his income reached 27 million, a figure that turns heads in both the sports and finance communities. Thanks to smart contract negotiations and his steady performance, that salary is expected to grow as Ferrari bets on him as their long-term star. Yet Charles's wealth isn't just built at 200 miles per hour. He serves as the face of elite luxury labels like Giorgio Armani, Richard Mille, and Ray-Ban, brands that admire his poise, grace, and timeless presence. These partnerships bring in several $1 million a year beyond his racing deals. He also isn't one to rely solely on endorsements. Leclerc holds a significant real estate portfolio in Monaco and France and is known for composing and releasing his own piano music, revealing a surprising artistic side that intrigues sponsors. Among collectors, Charles's name is legendary. His garage includes gems like a Ferrari LaFerrari and 812 Competizione and multiple rare classics. With a pristine public image and magnetic appeal, he is the go-to ambassador for digitally savvy global brands. Currently estimated to be worth 50 million, Leclerc is more than just Monaco's favorite son. He's carving out a legacy as the face of a modern motorsport dynasty marked by elegance, brilliance, and strategic vision. Still, what follows may surprise you. The next F1 star has joined the Netherlands' list of wealthiest individuals, thriving as both a racer and a digital-era entrepreneur. Max Verstappen, Europe's untouchable powerhouse. Max Verstappen is more than just a racing champion. He represents a new era where bold skill, sharp instincts, and smart business collide to create a financial powerhouse. With his steady focus and ice-cold precision on track, Max doesn't just win races, he shapes the financial world of sports behind the scenes. In 2024, his income soared to $75 million, officially crowning him the highest-paid driver in Formula One, as reported by Forbes. Red Bull's contract with Max shattered all previous team records, with post-title bonuses rolling in numbers that leave fans speechless and competitors green with envy. Still, Max isn't content with trophies alone. He's thinking bigger. His investments in the sim racing space are serious, an industry where online races draw millions of viewers and big-name sponsors. Through his venture Verstappen.com Racing, he's building a hybrid brand competing in both GT and virtual races, a business model no other F1 star has touched. Behind the curtain is a hand-picked team of professionals guiding everything: his finances, image rights, and long-term investment game plan. Max refuses to be molded by the spotlight. Instead, he shapes a brand so strong global companies are lining up to be part of it. He doesn't need flash. Just showing up causes a bidding war among automakers, watch labels, tech firms, and sports brands. Max now lives in Monaco, owns a garage of priceless exotic cars, and manages real estate back in the Netherlands. In 2024, he became the youngest person on the Netherlands' Quote 500 list, sitting at number 322 with a personal fortune topping $217 million. That's not just impressive. It's confirmation that Max is Europe's new master of sports wealth. Verstappen has accomplished in a decade what most chase for life: ruling Formula One, launching his own ventures, and becoming a national treasure in his homeland. Yet for all of Max's youth and dominance, the next name brings something even rarer: a true veteran still racing, still earning, and still living proof that greatness doesn't fade with age. Fernando Alonso, racing's timeless magnate. Fernando Alonso has nothing left to prove. Yet with every race, every lap, he proves it again. Year after year, even now at age 43, while many peers have quietly retired or faded from the scene, Alonso remains a fixture on the F1 grid, fast, sharp, consistent, and quietly amassing a remarkable fortune. Though he's a two-time world champion, Alonso's success goes far beyond trophies. What cements his tycoon status is the business empire he's quietly built, carefully crafted, smartly run, and made to last long after his final race. After more than 20 years at the top, Aston Martin still pays him a premium salary, not just for history's sake, but because no one blends wisdom, grit, and star power quite like Fernando. Off the track, he started planting the seeds of his future long ago. And that's where his true brilliance shines. In Asturias, his home region in Spain, Alonso launched the Fernando Alonso Sports Complex, a full-scale center with a museum, driver academy, karting track, and a high-end fitness club. It's far more than a vanity project. It draws young racers and fans year-round, bringing in income from multiple sources. On top of that, Alonso created A14 Management, a talent agency that supports and mentors rising stars. In 2025, his company scored its first major success when Gabriel Bortoleto, Alonso's protégé, made his F1 debut. Alonso isn't just building a legacy. He's laying the foundation for a future generation, one that will pay dividends on and off the track. His investments reach well beyond racing: real estate holdings in Madrid and Dubai, plus shares in motorsport, tech, and online gaming startups. Known for his financial discipline, Alonso ensures every dollar works, never letting wealth sit idle. With a net worth approaching $240 million, Fernando Alonso isn't just a motorsport legend. He's a case study in turning fame into long-term fortune. He proves that age is no barrier. In fact, the older he gets, the richer and wiser he becomes. And yet, one man stands even taller. The next figure rose from modest roots to rewrite F1 history, now leading a vast business empire and redefining what it means to be the greatest of all time. Lewis Hamilton, Speed's future billionaire. Lewis Hamilton isn't just F1's greatest modern champion. He stands as a symbol of triumph, proof that a young man of color from modest roots can become racing's wealthiest icon. From a boy whose father juggled 4 jobs to fund go-kart dreams to topping the 2024 Sunday Times Rich list, Hamilton's story is one of reinvention, both in victories and in life. With 7 world titles to his name, Hamilton has equaled Schumacher's record but outpaced every driver in financial gains. As of 2024, his net worth soared to $434 million, placing him leagues above today's racers and even eclipsing past champions. Yet his fortune isn't merely about race winnings or contracts. Hamilton is a branding powerhouse in today's media-savvy world. No longer just a racer, he stepped into a role as a global figure, from couture fashion to activism, startups to mentoring programs. Through Mission 44, Hamilton launched a foundation that empowers underserved youth across the UK, improving access to education and career opportunities. Alongside this, he spearheaded the Hamilton Commission to open motorsport's doors to more diverse voices, an unprecedented initiative in F1. In 2024, he introduced his own line of premium non-alcoholic agave drinks, entering the lifestyle market with flair and foresight. He's an investor in breakthrough tech, collaborates with Apple, and is the face of brands like Tommy Hilfiger, IWC, and Bose, among many others. But Hamilton's ambitions stretch further. He's building a multi-sector portfolio designed to push him past the billionaire threshold, with assets in property, music, emerging tech, athletics, and social causes. With $434 million to his name, Lewis isn't just leading the wealth rankings. He's leading a movement where business, sport, and social change blend into a legacy no lap count could ever measure. Whether in the paddock or the boardroom, Lewis Hamilton doesn't just win, he reinvents what winning truly means. F1 has never been just about going fast. It's a world where raw talent, sharp strategy, and savvy image-making come together to create multi-million, even multi-hundred-million-dollar empires. From the ever-poised George Russell to the digitally driven Lando Norris to Max Verstappen, the financial powerhouse before 30, and finally Lewis Hamilton, who defied the odds to become a global legend. Every driver featured here is not just lightning quick on the circuit but also sharp where it truly counts, financially.